Hello, everyone. If you're looking for a way to play Detective Pikachu Returns, this is a Nintendo Switch game, but you don't have a Switch, but want to try out and play this game, you can now play that into your PC now. And I will teach you everything you need to get started. So what you need first is that you will need to have all of these three files here that I have highlighted. Then you will also need to install an application called Yuzu. So for those who don't know and are new, Yuzu is a Nintendo Switch emulator that can run and play any Nintendo Switch games into your PC as long as you have all these three files here installed into your Yuzu emulator. Without these files, Yuzu emulator is useless and will not be able to play any Switch games. So first of all, I'm going to teach you where to get Yuzu emulator officially. To do that, just open a web browser here and just type in Yuzu emulator and hit search. Now go to YUZU-RYUJINX, which is the first result, and this is our official website, so be sure to click on that. Then go to the download section, then go to Android. So if you have a powerful Android 11 mobile device, you'll now be able to play Switch games into your Android phone, and you can choose a free version or an early access version. The free version is free, and the early access version will require you to pay one time, but you will get a week early or two release of updates with this emulator version. But if you can wait a week or two, then the free version is fine. And if you're from Linux, you can get the installer here. And if you're from Windows, you can get the installer here by clicking download for Windows 64 version. So since I have already installed this into my PC, so I'm just going to skip the download and installation process of Yuzu emulator because it's really easy to do and is really straightforward. And that anyone can do this and any noob can do this. So be sure to click on this and download it all away. Now, YUZU-RYUJINX is the official site. Be sure to only download Yuzu emulator from the site because this is the official site and the most safest way to get Yuzu emulator. So I'm just gonna minimize this now, and I'm gonna assume that you have already installed the latest build of Yuzu emulator. Okay, so if this is your first installation, be sure to boot it up, run Yuzu emulator, and then you'll be met with certain errors saying that you will need some certain files to be installed into your Yuzu emulator before you can play any Switch games. So what are those files? Those files are the Nintendo Switch keys, the Nintendo Switch firmware. Both should be in version 16.0.3 in order for it to run and play Detective Pikachu Returns. And also your game should be either in XCI or NSP file format so that Yuzu emulator will be able to detect that game. So if you're asking me where to get all these files, the most legal way to do this is that you own a Nintendo Switch console, you have modded that Switch and installed a custom firmware in it, because if it has a custom firmware installed in it, that means that you can now access your Nintendo Switch system files. And once you have access on the system files, all you have to do is just copy all of the Nintendo Switch keys and the Nintendo Switch firmware, which should be in version 16.0.3. Copy them, transfer them into your PC. Now, in order for you to get the game, there's no other way around this, but you should purchase the game legally, own a physical copy or a digital copy, wherein you have purchased that from the eShop. And once you have done that, you can now digitally back up that game into an XCI or NSP file format, just like mine here. So if you have a Switch but don't know how to mod or install a custom firmware, or you don't have a Switch at all but want to try out and play this game, and then I'm going to save you the hassle and teach you where to get all of these three files. So in order for you to get all of these three files here, I'm just going to leave a QR code here on the screen wherein you can scan it with your QR code reader into your mobile phone so that you will be redirected to the page wherein you can get all of this file. So be sure to use the QR code, scan the code, and you'll be redirected to approms.com. All you have to do is just hover down at the middle part of the website so that you'll get the Detective Pikachu Returns game. And once you have a copy of that file, hover down right below so that you'll get the Nintendo Switch keys and the Nintendo Switch firmware file. And be sure to check out the entirety of the website, okay? So that you'll get all of these three files. So I'm just going to assume that you have copied and transferred all of these files now into your PC, so it's time to install them into your Yuzu emulator. To do this, open Yuzu, go to File, open Yuzu folder, and then locate Keys folder here. Then open the key 16.0.3 file in the desktop. All you have to do is to just select all of these files or drag and drop them, copy and paste them into this folder so that you will copy the product keys and title keys of the Switch into this folder. And once done, closing that. Now it's time to install the firmware file of the Switch. To do this, just go to File, open User folder, locate NAND folder, which is NAND, open that folder, System folder, Contents folder, and then Registered folder. The next step now is to open the firmware file of the Switch, which is in the desktop. And I'm just going to select all of these files, copy them, then paste them into this folder. Again, this folder should be empty because this is your first installation. This will copy all the firmware file of the Switch now into your Yuzu so that your Yuzu emulator will function as a Nintendo Switch into your PC. It's done. closing this. Now your Yuzu emulator is now capable of booting up and detecting Nintendo Switch games. You'll know that it is successful because it will show you all of your Nintendo Switch games and their game icons. So if you see a game that does not have an icon, that means that you're using an outdated firmware and an outdated key. So be sure to only follow the QR code that we have put in the screen so that you'll only get the latest files in order for you to play Detective Pikachu Returns into your PC. Now, so what's the next step? The next step now is to optimize your Yuzu emulator so that there'll be no drifting, no crashes, black screens, white screens, and no graphical glitches and bugs into your playthroughs. To do this, just go to emulation, go to configure, and in this part, just be sure to pause the video and copy every setting that you see from here. Pause and copy every setting. Okay, so this is for the general tab. I'm going to go to system tab now. In the system section, these are subjective settings. You can change this to whatever you like, but in the core section, be sure that you leave it as it is. I'm going to go to CPU. It is just set to auto, and in graphics, this is the most important part of the settings, so be sure to copy everything, okay? So the API is, there are two APIs, Vulkan and OpenGL, so these are my settings for OpenGL, so be sure to copy everything. I'm going to move to the Vulkan API. There are games that runs well with Vulkan, so be sure to copy the settings. Both of this resolution of both APIs are in 2x resolution, so that the game will look sharper and much more beautiful than the native resolution of the Switch. But if your PC cannot handle 2x resolution or higher, then just revert back to 1x resolution, which is the base resolution of the Switch. But for me, 2x resolution is the best, okay? So I'm just going to go to Advanced tab now. So again, just pause the video and copy every setting you see here. And I'm going to go to Audio. So these are my settings. Real simple, so be sure to copy that. I'm going to go controls. I have connected my Nintendo Switch Pro controller and I have mapped them up accordingly, just like the same as my Nintendo Switch Pro controller. So if you have an Xbox or PlayStation controller, you can connect them here, but you should set the dead zone for both left and right sticks into 20% so that there'll be no drifting into your playthroughs. So be sure to change that so that there'll be no drifting, okay? And also be sure to use a controller rather than mouse and keyboard, because mouse and keyboard will be a hassle if you use that in playing Switch games. Now I'm going to hit OK. Now, your Yuzu emulator is now fully optimized to run and play any Nintendo Switch games such as Detective Pikachu Returns now into your PC, and also all of the previously released Nintendo Switch games. So a little bit of disclaimer, I will not be able to show you a gameplay of Detective Pikachu Returns into my PC because this game has just been released and it's really popular. And also, if I showed you this kind of tutorial, Nintendo does not like them and they are really strict on this kind of content, especially for the Nintendo Switch PC emulation scene. So if I showed you a gameplay that the Pikachu Returns runs perfectly and use the emulator into my PC, then my channel will be taken down and my videos will be taken down. That's why there are few video tutorials that are up, because they have been deleted by Nintendo and YouTube. So I hope you guys do understand on that part. But as long as you have followed all the steps that I've shown you in this video tutorial, you are guaranteed to get all of these files here. You'll be able to play it into your PC. You'll be able to get Detective Pikachu Returns runs perfectly. So if you have some questions regarding the installation process of Detective Pikachu Returns in your PC, then just leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll try my best to answer all of them. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel. This will help me out. And see you next time. Goodbye for now.